So, Airis effects are back with a new overdrive. Well, not necessarily new overdrive, a redesigned version of an old overdrive they used to have and then discontinued and then by popular demand have brought back. Now just to start with, the pedal looks awesome. I think Airis Effects has the coolest pedal enclosures going in the game. But what's different about this pedal to say his other flagships, the Savage Drive and the Parallel Overdrive? Well, first of all, this has a completely different voicing. It has a 3-band EQ that's pretty powerful, a low, mid, and high. Now the low and high controls will actually control a bit of mid-range as well. The low control will take off bass, of course, and make it tighter, or add in bass and make it chunkier. But it also adds a bit or takes a bit away of some low mid-range, which is kind of where all those palm mutes and chugs live. And then the upper mid-range, while adding, treble and top end, will also add kind of upper mid-range cut and bite. And you got to be careful with these because these controls can go from drastic changes. So if you need something super tight, cut the bass, but I like to use both of them sparingly just to get that bit of extra. And then the mid-range control will either totally scoop or completely push your mid-range into this nasal, almost kind of chainsaw direction if you push them hard enough. But really adds some aggression and helps it poke out. It also has a built-in noise gate, but unlike on the Parallel Overdrive, which has a built-in noise gate, its controls on the outside. The Parallel Overdrive has a control that you can tweak on the inside, and this gate isn't to gate the whole signal. It's just to gate the signal coming from your guitar. That way, if there's any excess noise, you're gating it off and getting rid of it before it's boosted. Now, of course, you have your volume and dirt controls. What I find with this one different from the Parallel and the Savage is the Parallel and the Savage have a bit higher bass volume. This one likes to play with the overdrive, the dirt. You boost the volume and then you start dialing in the dirt, not really to add, distortion, and low levels with the dirt, you're not adding distortion, but it'll add more volume and help you saturate your amp more. There's kind of more of an interplay with the volume and dirt that you don't really have or need to do on the Savage. So I found it a bit more interesting to dial in. Now, just to compare apples to apples with these pedals, the Brutal Drive, it's brutal. Out of all three of them, the Brutal Drive definitely colors your tone the most. If you're looking for something that's going to be more transparent, this is not the drive for you. If you're looking for something to just be brutal, destruction, death metal tones for days, this is the drive for you. So I figured we're going to hear this in a mix. I'm going to plug into the blue channel on my EVH 5153 Stealth, and then we're going to hear it outside of a mix on that same channel, and I'm going to compare it to the Savage Drive. We're just going to go through all the controls on the Brutal Drive, and then we're going to compare it in my ideal settings on the Brutal Drive to the Savage Drive. It's not going to be a huge comparison. I would like to do a bigger comparison to all three overdrives later, but that'll come later. This will just give you an idea of how they sound different. Let's check it out. So yes, as I said, definitely aggressive. And as you could hear with the differences between it and the Savage Drive was almost a little bit drier, a little bit cleaner, and the Brutal Drive was just way more aggressive, way more nasty, way more in your face. So I'm going to have some links for these drives down below, and in the near future I'm going to be doing a comparison between all three of Airis Effects overdrives so we can get a better idea of how they're different from each other and which one might be right for you. Now before I go as well, you can see I'm wearing this Metalhead T-Shirt. I started a Spreadshirt where you can buy T-shirts to brand yourself as a metalhead and help the channel out. I think they look pretty cool. But anyway, thanks for watching. Stay metal.